The enlightening will happen when the surrendering is complete. Yes. Normally surrender means that you should stop being there. Yes. That is complete surrender. You no more think of yourself and you accept things as they come. And you continuously entertain in your mind the presence of the divinity. When these three conditions are fulfilled, surely light will visit. Yes, you can trust. You can trust the light that it will dawn as much as the surrender is complete. And stop thinking about you and start seeing the light in all others. And start serving them. And keep at all times the omnipresent one in your mind. Eventually it will happen.
What to just wait?
No, my mind is never quiet.
La mente nunca está quieta.
So apply it to some service or the other.
Entonces aplícala a algún servicio u otro.
Seeing the divine in the others.
Viendo la divinidad en los demás.
Let it engage in that.
Y aplícala en eso.
So that along with the work, the mind is also engaged with the divine.
De manera que así se implica la mente con el trabajo.
The person whom we talk to, the persons to whom we talk to,
La persona con la que hablamos,
we work with,
con la que trabajamos,
we listen to.
con la que escuchamos.
We should also remember that there is a divine
Deberíamos recordar
besides the person. So let the thought of the presence of divine be entertained in every situation.
que en cada situación estemos en la presencia de lo divino.
Slowly, more divinity presence, more presence would be felt, and the doing aspect will go away. Work happens, and you feel the presence.
Poco a poco más presencia habrá y el hacer ya no será lo mismo.
So you have to feel with whomsoever you are working, there is divinity in you.
Tienes que llenarlo viendo que en cada cosa que trabajas.
Yes, whoever talking to you, there is divinity in
Está
you.
hablando, tiene divinidad.
Whatever you see, there is divinity also in it. Everywhere it is only the divine clothed in one form or the other. So when you feel the divine more and more with the things, the mind is not so much with thoughts. It is more with the divine. So you meet anyone, you are meeting the divine. You are seeing outside the nature, you are with the divine. When you see your own self in the mirror, you can see the light in the eyes as meeting you, the light in you. It is an aspect of trying to recollect divine in anything and everything that we do. Even when you take shower, the divine is there. Yes. Around you, in you there is divinity. Yes. When you are eating, there is in you, and around you there is divinity. When you are doing work, there is divinity. Like that, more and more the mind should be given the touch of the divinity, so that it does not anymore keep on jumping here and there. It is a habit which we have to create with patience. Initially the mind may not pick it up, but when mind picks it up, it becomes a good habit. And you see different dimensions in the same events. So in anything and everything that you do, that there is divine with you and around you. In everyone there is, in everything there is, in you it is. So this thought has to continuously stay with you. Then slowly you will experience the beauty of divinity in all that is happening. Yes. So, it is, when mind is specially into too many thoughts, it is better that you are in one work or the other, either with the humans, or with the plant, or with the animal, or with the nature. Don't let it wander. Engage in some work or the other, feeling the divinity in it. Slowly the mind will gain the habit of relating to divinity and feeling the divinity in all that is. It has to be gradually practiced. It will not come very easily. Some long years of practice is needed. But please continue like that. You will surely feel the divinity around. She says, in prayers, stop asking, I said in our seminar, should we not ask for alignment? Instead of asking for alignment, start aligning. Because it's a matter, it's a question. Instead of you start aligning, that's all, then everything will happen through alignment. Joy comes through alignment, happiness comes through alignment, fulfillment comes through alignment, everything comes through you when you are aligned. So, if you are asking for alignment means you are not into the action to align. Just to stay aligned. Remember that in the top of your head there is the divinity. Yes. Narayana, the book we have, the Narayana Center. You are the Nara, the man. So you relate to the God center in you, that is alignment. Stay in that alignment, that is most important. If you stay in that alignment, everything happens. And every aspect of you gets fulfilled. If you are connected, then there is the flow. When we are connected, sometimes mind takes you away. But again, bring it back to alignment. Bring it back to alignment. Feel the light in the head and be with it. Yes. You can make it a light, or you can make it a beautiful lotus, or it can be a very white mountain. It can be the Christ himself setting his hands like anything that is white. A white elephant, a white horse, a white bird, anything that is white is related to light. Just link to it and stay. That's it. And let these energies, let them flow into you. With every inhalation, you bring the energies into you. With every exhalation, you go and touch it. So let there be going and meeting it and getting the energies into you. And after some time, you can feel the whole energy is filling every part of you. So instead of it contacting you, when you stand in alignment, it flows into you. That's why meditation has come to be in this new age. That as you align, just like as you align to your plug, the current flows. As you connect to your proper water tank, the water flows. Like that you are connecting to an unlimited energy whose essential quality is will, love and light. So stand in it. That energy can be seen as a huge, unlimited blue, or it can be seen in a form of your choice. Then it gets into the form and through the form it reaches you. Some have the facility, create the facility of form. Some others do not create the facility of form. They relate to the energy itself. Some others create a beautiful form of a master or a divinity. as an intermediary between the omnipresent one and you. So that you have something to relate to you. The two methods are always there. So you don't have to ask. You don't have to ask.
I asked because I tried to do it.
No, you have a mind, I think. That mind you set here, imagining a light or imagining a lighted form. Just be with it. Then nothing you don't have to ask anything. True parents, true father, true mother, they know what you need, you don't have to ask. The parents know the needs of the children. We don't have to inform them of our needs. Just stop asking and start aligning. That would be very nice. It is the best facility. My experience is you get the best gifts which you never even imagined. What we ask are very silly things. What the divinity can give is you cannot explain. So stay aligned, that's the best.
At what stage your concrete mind will remember exactly the instruction and what needs to be done in your mind, not as an impulse, if that eventually happens?
That is why you are You have also understood? Yeah. That is the reason why immediately after your meditation, you sit down for a while and make notes. So that it is better registered in you and it doesn't get distorted when you start working. Yes. After every meditation there has to be a quarantine period. After every prayer, every meditation, every worship, there has to be a silent time. In that silent time, you recapitulate all that you have gained through meditation. Make a detailed note so that it settles in you, it sinks in you. Then keeping it as a means, you can start slowly implementing it in the activity. Otherwise, you miss the essence. That is why every advanced spiritual student, he maintains a notes. Yes. You can do it in your iPhone or iPad. Keep it with you. That is necessary. That is an intermediary step until it becomes a familiar aspect. Many things we get later they slip from our mind. That's why it's always good to have a pocket notebook or an iPhone where you immediately keep the notes. That's important.
How to work for others with responsibility without overacting.
Yes. It is important not to overact. Then when we hold this attitude to serve others, and we need not be proactive. We need not be proactive. When someone seeks help from you, you respond to that call from the other side. The nature arranges this call from the surroundings. When you have the attitude to serve, the nature notes it. And wherever there is a need for help, you would encounter it. It's not that you go and search for it. Yes. It may send a dove to you where you may have to give some grains, the nature. It may send a person to you seeking some help. You may also see situations where someone is in a kind of trouble to cross from one side to another. You can yourself, in those cases, be proactive to help them. And from the familiar ones, sometimes they ask, will you please help me in this? So you should be ready to help. That's how it is. And certain responsibilities are already there with us. And we are born. We have a responsibility to the parents after a born, to the co-born. We have a responsibility to the body. We have a responsibility to the five elements. And these are responsibilities when we keep attending, nature trusts us. And then more beings look to you for help. So as you keep, according to your ability, you keep on helping them, the nature replenishes you with greater abilities to help. And be on the lookout wherever help is needed. Yes, you try to help within your means. This attitude is important. Attitude to help is important. Yes. If someone is going down the stairs and they are not able to make these steps, balance problem, you can help them. Like that, in anything you can help. So the lookout to serve is important. To look out to serve. When the event emerges, yes, you serve. Just it is being alert. It is being alert. It is like a dog. It is very alert. When the situation comes, it springs into action. Like that, to be alert and to be oriented, to render any help possible in the surroundings, it is a good base. Then it is the nature. When you are in that orientation, yes, the nature is not inert. The matter is inert, but not the nature. Yes, from the nature, it sends beings who require help from you. That's how it works. And another technique which I normally adopt is, when I come anywhere, I make Om. If I make Om, it goes up and then goes into the surroundings. Whosoever has to relate to me, they will all come. That's the beauty of Om. So you can also practice that.
How to overcome these blockages, these obstacles to have a rhythmic life.
So see the obstacle as the divine presence.
Tenemos que ver lo que nos obstaculiza como la presencia divina.
Slowly the obstacle gets neutralized.
Poco a poco el obstáculo se neutraliza.
Obstacles are normal.
Los obstáculos son normales.
But we should see the obstacle also as a divine manifestation.
Podemos ver también el obstáculo como una manifestación.
Don't see it as an obstacle but a divine manifestation which you start responding to. Attend to the obstacle, feeling that it is a divine manifestation. When you regularly do that, slowly obstacles cease and enable you to practice. There is a very classical example of it. We, in India, in our neighbor's house, when we start the prayer, in the same time they start washing their clothes, beating them on the stone. Not with a purpose. But as you start home, The beating also starts in the other house. So I thought, let me see how this, what I told her, how does it work? I started seeing that beating as the beating of the heart of the master.
Empecé a pensar en este golpeo como el latido del corazón del maestro.
Yes, the master's heartbeat is like a pounding, boom, 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 boom. So I related this activity to the activity of the divinity. Touch wood, 3 days after they changed the time of washing. 3 days after. They postponed it to 7 o'clock. With no reason. No reason. I did not ask. Yes. And I can go and tell them, will you please do it at 7 o'clock? Then they may say, no, not possible. But if you see the obstacle, yes, then what happens, it is cleared, if you see the obstacle as the divine presence manifestation, then it gets neutralized. Another time, another dimension. You see here the pulsating principle of our air conditioning machine. So if you are with burbur, it continues to be. But I see the burbur. As the rhythm presented by the master as music. After some time you don't feel it. It doesn't exist to us. Only when we come back from the prayer, we notice it again. So either it is neutralized, in either way it is neutralized to you. That's how when whatever is seen, you have to, it is a substituted truth. Whatever we see in the world is a substituted truth. The original is in it. So, around the original truth there are layers of, they are called clothing, or what you call what you call it? Vestitures, veils. Around the truth there are veils. Yes. So you relate to the truth, solely the veils fall for it. In the obstacle there is the truth of the divinity. You relate to the divinity in the obstacle and attend to the obstacle. Slowly obstacles cease at 6 o'clock. No more obstacles at 6 o'clock. There is also another case where in another town, one of our members, every day he sits in meditation, a child cries in the next portion. 6 o'clock he starts prayer. 6 o'clock the child starts crying. So he wrote me a letter, and during those days there was no electronic communication. He said, as I start my prayer, the child cries, and my prayer is fully disturbed. So I wrote back to him, see the child as the master. See the child as the master. And when the child cries, see that it is the master over there. In 15 days I got back a postcard saying that the child is no more crying at 6 o'clock. So that is how when there is a substituted truth, you have to institute the original and start seeing it. So don't feel the obstacles. If you feel the obstacles, more and more obstacles will come. Because you are you are in anticipation of an obstacle. There are people who think as I go to this railway station, the train will be delayed. They propose delay. So naturally, everywhere they propose. So when you are getting obstacles, you propose obstacles and then obstacles start coming. So see the obstacle as the master, that is the trick, that is the key. When you do it, then it's slowly. You have learned that lesson, so it stops. That's how it is. Firstly, about the beggar. When someone begs you, sometimes you give, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you feel like giving and you give. Sometimes you don't feel like giving and you don't give. Sometimes you wish to give, but there is nothing in the pocket to give. Like that situations emerge. When a beggar approaches, you feel like giving, just give it. Sometimes when you don't feel like giving, don't give it. There is no logic in your not giving or even in your giving. It's not logic. It is an act of higher dimension where you feel like and you give. And go by the first impulse that you get. It is all based on the law of karma. If that law of one of the laws of nature, law of karma is law of nature. If that beggar is to receive from you today, he will receive it. When he is not to receive from you today, he won't receive it from you. So go by your impulse, don't get into logic about it. That's the best way. Because we cannot judge the beggar. Because we don't know his situations. So go by your impulse as it comes. You give and feel grateful for having been given an opportunity to give. Sometimes you feel not, don't give. Yes. You are taking care of a natural karma relating to beggar and you. Yes. So you can be dispassionate about it. You can be dispassionate about it. Yes. But any theories about that have no validity. So that is the one aspect of it. The second aspect is the original sin. The very Bible says God made man in his own image and likeness. The very Bible says God made man in his own image and likeness. So, to say there is original sin is not correct. Yes. The pure things tend to be impure in due course of time. When the impurities are not removed, we continue to have that impure state of being. The whole creation is a fire, is an act of fire. So fire produces the carbon. So naturally the carbon has to be removed. We all take our food, and after there is a fire activity in us that transforms the food into energy, and then the carbons are produced. When we do not release them, then they accumulate on us.
no los liberamos, se acumulan.
To say that food itself has the impurity in it,
Por sí mismo ya tiene esta impureza.
is trying to
Es tratar
start a game by which you win over the gullible. Start a game by which you win over the gullible. It's like could you understand that? Original image, the food as you take very, very pure food. We care for very pure, very hygienic food. However pure the food is,
por muy pura que sea,
however pure the drink is,
y por muy pura que sea la bebida.
in the process of their assimilation,
Eso de asimilación,
which is a fire activity,
una actividad de fuego,
we generate urine and stools.
tenemos orina y fecamos.
Even the purest of the situation, when it is put to an activity of fire, certain carbons emerge. To say that these carbons are part of this food is not right.
Decir que el carbono es parte de la comida no es cierto.
To say that these carbons are part of the food is not correct.
Estos carbonos desechos son parte de la comida.
To say that there is original sin is not correct.
Que hay un pecado original,
Sin happens
el pecado ocurre
due to the activity that we carry out,
de que llevamos
which we have to regularly eliminate.
que eliminando regularmente.
If you put a good mirror here,
Pones aquí un buen espejo,
dust accumulates on it.
se acumulará
What the dust has to be daily
diariamente.
eliminated.
Se tiene que eliminar.
So in creation, which is an activity of fire, cosmic, solar and planetary fire,
Actividad de fuego, cósmico, planetario,
it is but natural that carbons accumulate.
y se acumula
Like that, ignorance emerges.
y emerge la ignorancia.
So we have to eliminate it on a regular basis.
Lo debemos eliminar de forma regular.
Even the purest of the person,
Usa la más pura de las personas.
in his body by tomorrow there are impurities which he has to clean through
Cuerpo mañana habrá que
cleaning and washing.
limpiar y lavarse.
So when we are into creation, since creation is a firework, to ensure that the byproducts of creation do not dominate the creation, the cleansing process is given. This byproduct of carbon is called sin.
Subproducto del carbono. Los carbonos
So to say that the soul is originally sinned
que el alma tiene pecado
is a big game. If it is originally sinned, no one can remove it. If the soul is originally sinned,
Sí, el alma es originalmente.
no one can remove it.
Nadie podría.
The Christian fathers cannot remove
Los
it
padres cristianos no podrían.
because it is originally there.
Está originalmente ahí.
There is no original sin. There is sin happening by being negligent to elimination of ignorance that keeps
Negligente a la hora de eliminar la ignorancia.
enveloping the knowledge.
Que va
Ignorance happens because it is the carbon. And this carbon comes because of the fire.
este carbono, pues,
So daily we eliminate it.
pero diariamente lo eliminamos.
That's why daily we clean the body.
Por eso diariamente lavamos.
So daily we clean the mind through prayer.
Y diariamente lavamos
Yes,
la
sir.
mente con la plegaria.
This daily aspect becomes necessary because otherwise it accumulates.
El aspecto diario es necesario porque si no se
So the sin always accumulates. And what is sin? It is ignorance.
siempre se
So to say that it is there from the beginning is not
eso
correct.
está ahí desde el principio no se puede.
It is like saying the food is, in the food there is the
Es como decir que
defecation
hay
included.
la defecación.
Can we say that the water we drink,
Podemos decir que el agua que bebemos
this originally has urine in it?
tiene originalmente orina en ella.
Can we say that?
Podemos decir esto.
It becomes urine eventually when you drink.
Convierte en orina cuando lo bebes.
And this water is totally different from that urine.
Pero esta agua es completamente distinta de la
To say originally in this water there is urine,
que originalmente en esta agua
and originally in this fruit there is the stool.
en esta miel de fruta hay la defecación.
It is overblowing the sin aspect.
Es dar más importancia al
Yes.
aspecto del pecado.
And overblowing the sin aspect is a game, that's what I am saying.
Valorar el aspecto del pecado
It's a game to control the fellow humans.
un juego para controlar a la gente.
Yes. The sin happens in creation because there is combustion.
El pecado ocurre en la creación porque hay combustión.
It's a subsequent byproduct. So we cannot in the East accept that
No podemos aceptar
we are all born sinners
que hemos nacido pecadores
when we came into this world.
cuando vinimos a esta
It is ignorance that caused them.
ignorancia
And that ignorance we try to eliminate.
y tratamos de eliminar.
Yes, I can give a short note with the prayer which I did yesterday, but eventually it will also be forgotten. Because it is the quality of the mind that it forgets.
La cualidad de la mente de olvidar.
That's why we say forgetfulness is death.
Decimos que el olvido es la muerte.
Forgetfulness is death.
El olvido es
Yes. Total forgetfulness is total death.
el olvido total es la muerte
Yes.
total.
Therefore, the practice is to overcome forgetfulness.
La práctica es
While we continue with this practice to allow the awareness to be
continuamos con esta
alert at all times,
para que la conciencia esté atenta en todo momento.
if you think that the yesterday's prayer is useful,
Que la plegaria de ayer fue
collect it, put it in a fashion with a short note, so that people can use according to their inclination.
la gente lo pueda usar según su inclinación.
But the most important part in this is
Lo más importante es
this forgetfulness.
el hecho de olvidar.
That we don't remember our past life because we forgot.
Pasadas porque las olvidamos.
What were we in the last life? We don't know why.
No lo sabemos.
This forgetfulness faculty is the only thing upon which the masters help us to work out.
Es algo con el maestro, es lo único con lo que el maestro nos ayuda.
Yes, continuity of consciousness.
Este olvido, para darnos la continuidad de conciencia.
So this continuity of consciousness disables forgetfulness. So therefore try to recollect as much as you can. Recollection is one of the 5 ways of realizing the truth.
Recordar es una de las 5 maneras de realizar la verdad.
Yes. So while we invent methods not to forget, the best thing is also concurrently work to see that we don't forget.
Continuamente practicar el no olvido.
This has to be a daily practice.
Debe ser una práctica diaria.
Especially after 50 years,
Especialmente tras
slowly the brain develops
50
forgetfulness.
el
Don't let it happen.
cerebro desarrolla lo que es el olvido. No dejemos que ocurra.
We have many occasions where we search for the pen that we use.
Tenemos muchas veces que buscamos un bolígrafo,
We search for the glasses that we
unas
use.
gafas que hemos perdido.
We search for our cell phone so many times. Why do we search for?
¿Por qué buscamos todo esto?
Because when we keep them somewhere,
Estamos en un lugar,
we don't rhythmically keep them in the same place every time.
rítmicamente en el mismo lugar cada vez.
If you have the habit of keeping at home the glasses in the same
Las
place,
gafas en casa siempre en el mismo lugar.
or your iPhone in the same place, whatever phone, not only iPhone,
Porque ser un iPhone,
any mobile.
cualquier teléfono.
Don't charge here once day, another place, another place in the house. Then you have no rhythm.
Así no tienes ritmo.
If you develop rhythm for every simple act that you do,
Tienes el ritmo en cada pequeño acto que hagas.
the recollecting ability is far superior
Recordar es
we would be getting into the seventh ray activity. Seventh ray activity should be brought into life on a daily basis. Not just doing some seventh ray ritual once in a week, once in a month and all. Every day, doing the same thing in the same order, at the same time, develops this awareness which continues to be continuous. When you have this continuity of consciousness, even when death comes, you don't lose it. You will not tend to be forgetful. You consciously move forward from this body. When you consciously move forward, even when you come back, you get back that consciousness, even by your 10th year. Yes. Very rarely by 5th year. Very rarely by 5th year. So, this is a great dimension. Apart from what Ludger suggested, the forgetful aspect is the most dangerous aspect. Whatever we have studied, if we forget, we keep studying the same things. If we study, it should remain with us. Yes. Tomorrow we study, today study we forget. It has no value. So to be progressive, yes, we have to eliminate this sickness of mind of being forgetful. So that has to be again an exercise which you should entertain on you on a daily basis. That would be helpful. Nevertheless, the prayer will be given to the groups. Education today does not give any information, which is relating to the subjective side of man. All education is about objectivity. Be it the subjective side of man, the subjective side of planet is not taught. That's why many things are not known. Therefore, necessary is that we start this education on the subjective side of our being, subjective side of our planet, as an additional education program to children. It's not there in even in the Western scriptures. It is there in Puranas as Manvantaras. Yes. And it is given by Madame Blavatsky for the first time in this cycle of time. So we can, there are also simplified books that relate the rounds and the races. Yes, what happened with this planet right from its birth of a nucleus. It is correlative to what happens to a soul being born in the womb of the mother. Just like in the womb, the child goes from being a bubble and slowly it solidifies and then gains the future eyes as holes and future mouth and then some projections as ears and eventually the spinal column. Yes. Likewise, the human races are going through certain rounds and certain evolutions. Through the science of correspondence, all this information is very laboriously presented by Madame Blavatsky with the help of the masters of wisdom. We should let this be known to our children, and that becomes our responsibility. in the outer schools they are never taught.
escuelas externas
Yeah.
nunca se les enseña
Because the school, they only teach
solamente
the physical side of the planet
la parte física
and the physical side of man.
y la parte física
The rest of the things are to be learned by us, by our own education programs. So there are very simple books coming out of the teachings of Madam Blavatsky
a partir de las enseñanzas de Madame
about the White Island, about Hyperborea, about Lemuria, about Atlantis, and Aryan race. It also speaks of the future race.
y también habla de la
Yeah, future races are also spoken.
también se habla de las
So there are small books. We have to acquaint ourselves and then inform this to our younger generation.
podemos informarlos si quieren.
Don't be this guilty, guilty, guilty. Christ did not say.
Cristo no dijo culpable, eres culpable.
Jesus Christ did not say anywhere
No dijo nada de esto.
that we are all sinners and all that.
Pecadores.
He only said we are all sons of God.
Dijo solamente que todos somos hijos de Dios.
So we have to replace
Entonces tenemos que reemplazar
this thought, I am sinner, I am sinner, I am sinner.
que soy un pecador.
Replace it with I am son of God, I am son of God, I am son of God. By regularly recollecting that I am son of God,
Regularmente que soy el hijo de Dios.
your esteem rises far superior.
Tu estima
Yes. Recollect that I am that I am.
recordando yo soy
I am that I am. That is God and I am an expression of it.
Dios y yo soy
Yes. Moses said I am that I am.
Moisés dijo yo soy.
And Jesus said we are sons of God.
Jesús dijo somos
It is only the religions that propagated this sin business. Yes. So we have to replace it with the original statement, I am son of God, I am light. When we regularly do it at home with ourselves and our children, and that we are essentially the children of God. Not only the ones in Israel, all humans are children of God. Some claim that we are children of God, others are not. How can we believe it? All are children of God. So we have to reinforce ourselves by, through our continuous recollection, that I am son of God. And as much as God is, so He bestowed on the Son, and the Son can manifest the will of God, love of God, and knowledge of God. The man's position in the whole creation is a very esteemed position. It is by self-definition we have demeaned ourselves. And some selfish interests, they started creating this black cloud upon the humanity. And we should not let it happen. We should not let it happen. No one is originally a sinner. All come from the same light. All come from the same light. So as he progresses in creation, he may not have cleansed himself as regularly as he should. So there is different degree of awareness. But nevertheless, we have that original essential divinity in us. The original essential divinity, if we start recollecting, we become that. Yes. We have stories for children where a child of a swan, it got lost and mixed up with a group of ducks. Along with the ducklings, it also grew. And when they were passing by the stream, one day this swan saw another group of swans moving in the stream. The very moment it saw the other swans, it left the ducks and joined the swans.
dejó a los patos y se fue con los cisnes.
It is but natural for a swan to
Es
find
natural para un cisne
the affinity with this swan.
encontrar la afinidad
Yes, sir.
con los cisnes.
And before that, it was thinking that it was a duck.
Se pensaba que era un pato.
Yes. Likewise, if you bring a cub of a lion and tame it along with the dogs, a lion is a lion any day.
Y lo mezclas con
As it grows, it is different.
pero cuando crece es distinto.
Yes. So we are, the essentiality of it is divine. We are essentially divine.
Esencialmente
The envelopes that are allowed around us
lo que nos rodea
may be of different texture.
pueden ser de distintas texturas.
That's why we have to regularly
Por eso
recollect that I am the Son of God.
tenemos que recordar que soy el hijo.
I am here to render the duties of my Father upon earth.
Estoy aquí para llevar a cabo los
Yes,
deberes.
I work for the Father in the heaven. I work for the Father in the heaven upon earth. Upon earth. Yes. That's why I am here. When we regularly recollect, we get rid of this
Si no lo recordamos regularmente, entramos en
the bombardment of the false doctrine on us. This sin aspect has come about into humanity
ha venido a la humanidad
only since 2000 years.
solo hace 2000 años.
Not even 2000 years, strictly speaking about 1700 years.
Ni 2000 años hablando ciertamente.
When Jesus was asked, "Are you Son of God?"
Cuando Jesús dijo, soy,
Jesus answered, "Yes, but you too."
eres un hijo de Dios, dijo, sí, pero tú
Yes,
también.
you too. You forgot, I remember.
Lo has olvidado, yo me acuerdo.
I have come to recollect to you
Quiero
also.
recordarte.
So like that, we should start working with
Sí deberíamos empezar
the thought that I am the Son of God.
a trabajar con él.
Yes.
Simplemente soy el hijo
I am light.
de Dios, soy luz,
I am full of love.
estoy lleno de
I am here to exhibit the will of Lord.
estoy aquí para mostrar.
This kind of new affirmation we have to take to ourselves and start working.
Este esfuerzo es con el que debemos trabajar.
Otherwise we remain the ducks
Permaneceremos como patos
and we can never be the swans.
y nunca seremos
By,
cisnes.
we should not continue this auto-suggestion that we are sinners.
No podemos seguir con esta autosugestión de que somos pecadores.
Maria Magdalena was neither a prostitute nor a partner of Jesus.
Magdalena no era ni una prostituta ni una compañera de Jesús.
She was not a prostitute.
Era una prostituta.
First, she was a very beautiful woman,
Era una mujer muy bella.
and many men were looking for her.
Muchos hombres la buscaban.
And she denied them and created enemies to herself.
Rechazó y se creó muchos enemigos.
Yes. And when powerful men
Y cuando los hombres
are denied,
son rechazados,
they can create evidence, they can create stories,
crear evidencias y
they can convince the authorities, they can buy the religious heads,
pueden convencer a los
and slowly brandize her as a prostitute.
y decir que es una prostituta.
And so that we can stone her to death. It is all the hate coming out of emotional love.
Lapidar hasta la muerte.
When there is emotional love and that love is denied, it comes back as hate.
Entonces, cuando hay amor y se niega este amor o se rechaza, se convierte en odio.
So that is a very beastly aspect of the humans.
Bestial del
So they decided to stone her to death. Not because she was a prostitute.
porque fuera una prostituta,
She did not agree to be a prostitute.
no porque no
That's
estaba de
it.
acuerdo en ser una
Yes.
prostituta.
She was a very pure woman,
Era una mujer muy pura
unwilling to marry,
que no deseaba casarse.
yes, and the problem for her was her own beauty.
Y su problema era su belleza.
Yes, a lady of beauty invites problems from the men because there is such an inferior understanding of love.
Belleza encuentra problemas en aquellos hombres que tienen una
So-
comprensión inferior del amor.
Jesus saved her
Y Jesús
from that
libró
situation.
en esta situación.
Thereafter nobody touched her, nobody was after her because she is around Jesus and Maria. Maria Magdalena was with Jesus and also Maria, the mother of Jesus. And there is another Martha. These three were together always. Yes. She was by far the most brilliant student of the teachings of Jesus. Because she could relate to the teachings much better than the males. Yes. And Jesus was also pleased of her ability to comprehend. So she was getting very near to Jesus. So naturally the male disciples also, they have the jealousy problems. So they never wanted a lady disciple to be around. So therefore they created their own stories about her. Yes, sir. There is truth in what Da Vinci Code speaks of. Jesus, wherever Jesus was sitting, by his side was Maria Magdalena sitting. If you see the face of John or that of Maria Magdalena, you can't make out whether it is a female face or a male face. So many distortions are made to put off a female character in the group of Jesus. Yes. This is an aspect of masculine domination, yes, which and it has its own rumors and stories spread about it. In that life, Jesus, the initiate, he did not marry. Yes. Because he knew that his plan is something else. And this bloodline business and all that is all another wild imagination. The bloodline of Jesus is another wild imagination. Yes. So on either extremes we have a lot of wild imaginations. Maria was an excellent student of the teachings of Jesus, and in truth she carried much better understanding of the teachings of the Master. And Maria the mother is already a great initiate. Yes. So she was more with the Maria the mother and also with Jesus. She did not marry Jesus, or Jesus did not marry her. And by the least, we said she is a very honored, respected lady of the community who denied the men of high places. So therefore picturized by it, and it was also suitable to the disciples to put her up. So that's why in recent years there is more and more acceptance of Maria Magdalena. So let us not go with either of the theories. That she is a prostitute, we don't have to go with that theory. That she has been a partner of Jesus. Jesus was very androgynous. He was very androgynous. In him the male and female were in complete agreement. He never needed a feminine energy with him. Yes, a true picture of Jesus, if you see, you cannot make out if it is a male picture or a female picture. The pictures with the barb and all that is what we develop. Yeah. He read Blavatsky's writings. He is one of those who attained that state of androgynous. hermaphrodite.
llegó al estado de
In him, the male and female energies are completely balanced.
estado andrógeno.
So he is not in need of a
La
female.
parte masculina y femenina están equilibrados.
Therefore, he had no need to marry or have a life path.
No necesitaba casarse, tener un compañero.
He wholeheartedly accepted Maria as
Aceptó a María
his disciple,
como su discípula.
and she was by far the best student of
Era de lejos
Jesus.
el mejor estudiante de Jesús.
That is how it is. Please come to Toledo. We have we have a full story of Jesus there. Thank you. Namaskar.